Hi everyone, my name is Melissa Carpinelli and I was a student teacher in an ICT kindergarten classroom as well as a general education preschool classroom with students that had IEPs. Throughout my student teaching journey, the experience has had the greatest impact on me in many ways. I did really take away learning how to support diverse learners, especially in inclusive classroom environments. So one of the most powerful parts of my placement has been observing and participating in how teachers create environments where all students can succeed. So regardless of their learning profiles, I noticed that in both of the classrooms, routines were huge. Consistency and collaboration between the general education providers, the special education providers, paraprofessionals, as well as related service providers that may come into the classroom or pull out of the classroom. I noticed that all of this collaboration and working together made a huge difference. And the general education preschool classroom that I noticed how many children are still developing their foundational communication skills or social emotional skills. And the teachers used a play-based, language-rich approach when they worked with them. I saw that they used the simplest tools such as picture schedules, music. They repeated read-alouds often, really supported students that had language delays. And in the ICT kindergarten that I was student teaching in, co-teaching was a huge role in student success. So I watched how these two teachers really worked together. They planned lessons together. They adjusted instruction based on real-time student needs, which was huge. I thought that was amazing. I really did. I thought that being able to just adjust that quickly and be so flexible was great. And so they used a lot of visual supports. They used sentence starters. They did a lot of small groups, which I loved. And whether or not the student had the IEPs, they all thrived and were happy and worked well together. And all of these approaches really helped all the students. This really showed me that inclusive teaching is not about a one-size-fits-all lesson. It's about being responsive and proactive and intentional. What I really saw as far as, evidence-based, I would say a lot of Danielson's framework for teaching kept coming up. So when I would look at Danielson's approaches for Domain 1 for planning and prep, these teachers carefully planned for these diverse learners. They included visuals, sensory tools, materials that met student needs, and they were flexible. When it came to Domain 2, for the classroom environment, they were very structured. Routines were huge. So these routines and supports made students feel safe and empowered. I felt that it put them really at ease when they knew what they were to expect, and it actually made transitions easier. They had access to these materials that they needed, and it just was a really inclusive environment. When it comes to Domain 3, as far as instruction, the real-time adjustments during the lessons, really blew my mind. They really took careful planning and really worked together and really focused on each child's individual needs. And the thoughtful questioning that they used, the scaffolding, it really helped. You could see that it was really helping deepen their understanding. So just, really being present and, flexible and really, taking a look at each student as, their own and doing small group work. And I really, enjoyed this aspect. It really made a huge impact on my experience, especially being a huge part of it. it really made me reflect on what I was seeing and doing as a student teacher. It, it really showed me how effective teaching is not just about delivering the content. It's about understanding the students and designing instructions with their minds in need. So my experiences have truly shaped my identity as a future educator. I've learned that it goes beyond physical placement. It means that giving every student a meaningful opportunity to participate and learn. So in both of these classrooms, they have taught me flexibility, as well as building relationships with students, being inclusive. And I honestly feel more prepared after having the opportunity to work alongside these teachers. And really, I'm looking forward to creating these inclusive spaces where every child is seen, supported, and thank you so much. And that's it. Thank you.